Hi, this is Elena, and today's topic is the part 2 from the previous video, which was about duality and how duality can actually propel us forward faster in an accelerated growth to exploring who we are, thus connecting deeper with self, thus connecting deeper with spirit. So if you are a light worker thinking, how do I use these videos? It's all about you. It's all about you because at the end of the day, exploring and connecting more with yourself, you are expanding your connection with spirit and you are expanding your connection with self. And the previous one comes because of this. The more you're connected with yourself, the more expanded your connection with spirit is. Now, today's video is the second part, which I have to get a bit more specific so we can understand how energy works in that level of duality and how we can get ourselves in a different sense in the 5D and above. Because duality works more on the 3D and the 4D, but you can't go suddenly out of the blue to the 5D without having explored all the previous steps and without having gone to a level of knowing why this doesn't work for you, why you are choosing 5D and above. Now, the first example. Let's say, for example, you want more money in your life. More money, more income, more financial freedom. And usually this is kind of difficult for most light workers because we are used to connecting with spirit, the non-materialistic aspect of ours, and we have some difficulties of accepting the fact that we are here to explore life materialistically as well. And let's say, for example, you are in a steady pace of increasing your income or have an income that satisfies you, but you feel you could do better as well. And you are in a space of exploring the frequency of money and how that feels like, how it is the expansion of that, how it is the lack of having money, how it feels to be in the highest of flows for yourself, for what you are creating, what you are doing as a light worker, and being in a constant increasing pace of these things. And of course, you get to a point where you feel that you are breaking everything down, you are going through a tower moment, because that is the space that will actually propel you forward faster instead of having a steady, slow, increasingly pace of moving forward and moving forward and forward. And you get into a space of exploring more of your financial freedom. What will that bring? You don't want to know. Okay, let me put it in simple words in my head first, because I'm channeling at the same time too many sources, and that becomes a bit weird, if I can say that. What you will go through is the breakdown of the stability you have created so far, which is part of the duality again. And I will click everything together so you can understand what I'm saying here. First, you will expand the breakdown of the stability, which means every kind of sense of stability, financial stability you have so far will be gone. And you will have to face the unknown, the uncertainty, and even the lack. Through the duality, we are exploring a bigger spectrum of frequencies, but duality makes it easier for our logical parts of the brain to get to understand the more and the less, the lack and the prosperity and the abundance. So you are exploring the frequencies of two different sides of the same coin, and at the same time you are exploring all the in-between. So the instability, feeling that I don't have enough, or how is this month gonna go, or I should be working more and I don't, and things don't work for me, and I may be not on the right path, because we have this illusion that when we are on the right path, in our genius zone, we are constantly expanding in every aspect of it. Yet, that's not true. This is an illusion. We are expanding in many different ways, not only with a positive expansion, but also with what we perceive as negative expansions. So, you will be exploring the lack of everything, the lack of feeling stable, secure, and even having the basics available to you. And that is your exploration of all the frequencies in between and how it makes you feel. Now, the point in all of these things is one: how to familiarize yourself and your nervous system with all of these different frequencies, how to integrate all these frequencies into who you are, not judging and going through all the emotions that come along with all these different frequencies. Because when I have stability, financial stability, let's say for example, I will feel safe, protected, confident enough to keep expanding. When I lack of that and my income comes to be lower than usually, I will feel exactly the opposite: unstable, unprotected, insecure in a huge way. I will be looking for different sources of income, probably. I will be looking for help and support from everyone around me who can provide that. I will be feeling unworthy. I will be feeling a lack of self-respect, that I'm not successful, I'm not doing good, there's something wrong with me, there's something off, there's something challenging and I can't put my finger on it, and all that comes with it, the self-doubt, the worries, and of course it comes down to feeling that everything is bringing me down on my knees, in some words. Okay, so in that space I will feel that I'm not doing well, there's something off, and I will be judging myself. I will be trying to figure out what's wrong with me, and that creates more emotions, and we are going into a roller coaster of emotions and thoughts and beliefs that show up, that make you feel all of the things mentioned previously. Now, how you handle that? By familiarizing your nervous system that this is fine and all will be well, even if it's not looking like that, even if it is exactly the opposite of that. Now you will tell me, but Elena, I don't have money to bring food on my table. How will I feel okay with that? In exactly that space, you will have to explore all the different kinds of abundance that already exists in your reality. When you lack of the basics, there's someone around you that wants and is eager to provide, that is okay with providing for you something that you now need. It is okay to accept that, because it is a different form of abundance. Okay, so opening up and seeing the abundance you already possess in different ways is how you familiarize yourself with all the different frequencies of abundance that exist around you, and you're still exploring the duality of having and not having, and how that feels like in different layers and levels of abundance. Because we have connected abundance with prosperity, we have connected money as a form of abundance, and we can't actually see that everything else around us is also in abundance. For example, you might be in an abundant connection with spirit. You might be in a space where food and shelter is provided abundantly. That is another form of abundance. You may look around at your space and find materialistic stuff in abundance. From books, from decks, from any other resources you have overlooked in the past because you were solely focused on a specific kind of abundance. That is how we get through the duality that seems in a very surface level that it is duality, and it's not actually duality, but it is a huger spectrum of different frequencies included in two main frequencies. And all it matters at the end of the day of these explorations have to do with your perception, how your perception shifts. And when you do that and entertain this, you're gonna understand a lot more about who you are and the different frequencies around you, of how things are manifesting in your life, how you are manifesting abundance and money and prosperity in different ways, in many different ways. I have more examples to mention, so I won't stay more in that, but know and trust that everything is connected to that general sense of duality, and we are exploring ourselves in all of that. All of that. The in-between, the main two concepts when it is expressed as duality, and all the in-between that is included in that space. So, learning yourself through that experience will help you integrate more frequencies, and at the same time you're getting more in aligned with your true frequency. You are carrying the true frequency within you. The true frequency meaning your blueprint frequency of what is. And through that space of self-exploration, you have covered everything else. And you can't say, hey, I don't want that. I'm okay wherever I am. And this is a good space for me to be, because even if you say that, even if you try to do that, it won't actually happen. It will grow more resistance in you. And whenever the challenges show up, you will still feel that resistance. And the more resistance we feel, guess what? The more difficulties show up, the more hard it is for us to understand what is going on and get through that learning experience. And we resist a part of us, because you can't be abundant and in prosperity if you haven't explored all the in-between. You don't know what that looks like in its totality. So the theme in this video has to do with understanding the totality. We are exploring the totality of an energy in every sense it can exist. And the totality has nothing to do with duality, but this is how our brains perceive it. We perceive black and white, we perceive bad and good. So in that space, there's all the in-between as well. And we like to break down things in a simple way that makes sense, but we have to open up and be more aware of all the in-between, because they are adding up a lot in our energy, in our perception, in our understanding, in our everyday lives. Let's say mediocre. Okay, something is a mediocre experience. Through that, you are exploring the totality of a duality that exists in your life. And that thing that is mediocre, okay, it is okay, but it shows you back, it reflects to you something about yourself and why you find this mediocre, or what is the improvement, what is the least actually good thing about that, or how I would like to experience myself next through that situation that is now mediocre for me. Okay. Moving on, I need to explain this as well, that it's not a punishment. When we are exploring these things from the duality perspective, we feel that someone is punishing us, that we did something wrong, that we don't deserve something better, that something is wrong with us. That comes down to many wounds, of course, inner child, childhood in overall, and as adults as well. But it also feels like someone with more power than us is punishing us, which is a belief also connected to religions, which is a lot of things. Okay, childhood, religions. If we go way back in time, we will find a lot of things connected as beliefs to why we feel this as a punishment, and it's not. If you stop viewing this and feeling it as a punishment, you will be in a space of curiosity and self-exploration with less resistance, if none at all, of understanding yourself through these different spaces with a neutral emotion, with a neutral feeling, in a way, okay, I'm experiencing something new, something different, something this or that or whatever that is. It brings amazing results. Let me share that. When you get into that space where you feel detached and even indifferent to what you are experiencing now, so you have cut off the ties of being too attached to something, you are freeing yourself to be in the flow of self-exploration, even if something usually would be labeled as negative experience, even if it would be labeled as not okay for me. Let's say you want to expand your connection with spirit. A beautiful, beautiful concept for us light workers of any sorts. Either we do this professionally or for ourselves. We are going through that experience of wanting more, being more clear of how our connection with spirit is, how connection with other beings goes for us. We want to go deeper and feel more and be more aligned. And in that space, what we will experience is also exactly the opposite. You know, the first stages of spiritual awakenings, we feel disconnected, which isn't a disconnection exactly, but a redirection of focusing on what is in front of us in our materialized lives. Like paying attention to my connections in my everyday life, paying attention to the challenges I may be having. So I will feel a disconnection from spirit, which is not exactly disconnection, but this is how I will experience it, okay? Now, when you want to expand that connection with spirit, after having gone these minor challenges off and on, and feeling again connected, or the days that we feel the veil has lifted and the connection with spirit is more vivid and more clear for many of us, through portal days, through a variety of different dates through the year. I don't even remember to mention something specific. Yeah. Now, through your desire to make more sense of spirit and feel and be more connected and feel the connection more vivid, you will experience the disconnection. You will experience how it feels to be more subtle as a connection, how it feels to be more vivid, as if they are sitting next to you, talking with you. You will feel that a lot of things are taking place in an indirect way. You will go into meditation and probably still not feel the presence of your spirit guides, for example. You will be awake and you have been used to talking with your guides wide awake without going into meditation or whatever, and you will feel that vividly, and also as there's no presence at all of them. There are times that you will feel everything and times that you will feel nothing at all. All of these different situations that familiarize your nervous system, your own spirit, with the different ways of being at the end of all these learning processes and self-explorations, you will get exactly where you need to be. Expanded, more connected than ever before, and fully knowing what is going on around you. You want to open up to spirit, you will be opening up to spirit. You want to open up just to your guides, you will be opening up just to your guides. It will be your will that will create the openness and the connection. You won't be needing permission slips. Let's say, for example, I need to go meditate and be with my guides. Or I need to do this in order to get the connection established. Or I need to have my frequency very high so I can be connected. You will feel their presence regardless of where you are, how you are, and what is going on, because you have gone through all the in-between stages and you have familiarized yourself with all the different frequencies, and you know what is going on, when and why, and how it has occurred like that. So this is exactly what it is to exploring duality and all the in-between. And again, it's not a punishment. On the contrary, it is the most beautiful way for us to explore ourselves, because remember, we are the source experiencing itself. So how can you not experience yourself through the different frequencies that are valid? Now there is some kind of a different set of enjoying this, I can say. Different way of enjoying this. For empaths, we are the most challenged, the most strong psychics, and the most challenged, okay? Because we are feeling everything. And then again, nothing as well. And we need to isolate ourselves, to detach from different energies, to let the integration or the transmutation take place. It's not exactly detachment we do. And disconnecting from different energies. We are transmuting stuff, we are taking in information from many different sources and in many different ways, and we are processing all that, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes it just runs the processing in the background as you see in your computer probably, but you still move on to the next thing. And why? Now, as empaths, we grow faster. We grow faster because even if something is not exactly in proximity to our frequencies, we are gonna be exploring the different things by picking up energies from others. So we are picking up all these different things from different sources, even from the earth, different places. And in that space, we keep transmuting. And guess what? When you're doing that processing of transmuting energies, clearing energies, picking up energies from others, your energy is enhancing as well. Interesting, huh? You are learning as an empath way faster how energy works, more effectively, of how energy works, of how everything works around you. You understand the human psyche a lot more than anyone else, a lot faster and a lot deeper than anyone else, because being an empath means that you won't stay on the surface. You will pick up and understand a lot more than anyone else around you. You're going deep. This is what is usually exhausting us as empaths, and we try to detach from everything as it is kind of yikes kind of thing. It's everything we are familiarizing our systems with as different energies and different expressions of energy. So as an empath, you are evolving way faster, you're connecting more with your inner wisdom, you are understanding the human psyche and those around you and yourself through those reflections way faster, way deeper, way more effectively. And there comes a point, of course, where you are pushing everything away and you're focusing on what makes you happy and excited in your life. So empaths are exploring that spectrum of duality way faster, way deeper, and with more realizations about themselves and others. I hope this makes sense. And please entertain my loneliness with some comments below. It always helps me, and feel free to comment anything that makes sense or doesn't make sense to you, anything that you would like to add, literally anything. I love seeing your comments. I love when you interact with the videos and the things I'm sharing. I hope it's not complicated, because sometimes I feel that I'm exploring things in a complicated way, and my point is to bring them down uncomplicated as much as possible, of course, because energy is not just a simple thing to explore, it's a lot. And we can go deep, we can stay on the surface, we can explore as much as we need to be exploring. And of course, my curiosity and my curious nature never stops. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope it hits home for you, and why I needed to go a bit deeper and explain a little bit more, because sometimes it feels like a punishment from the divine when we are going through different stages and of self-exploration, but it's not that. And the way to go through these different stages is to go all the way in and familiarize your nervous system with all the different expressions of the same thing. Because that's the way we elevate, that is the way we expand, that is the way we learn. And it has its own beauty, its own frequency, if I can say that. So remember to always be true to yourself and be your true self. And I will make a video on that, because it's not just a mantra, it's not just an expression, it's a lot more. And the ways I'm realizing its depths has my head exploded a couple of times at least. I would love to connect with you in a more personal, private way as well. If you are drawn to my energy and the things I'm exploring, let's connect through a session. There's more magic to come through. There are more breakthroughs to be achieved. More clarity to come through. Again, that. With much love, please do remember that everything is energy, and we are energy. Love you, and a huge, huge hug wherever you are, whatever you do. And of course I have a PS to mention, and I'm coming back online recording a bit more because what usually triggers me when I see these kind of videos and reels about, oh, you want love, you asked for love, you're gonna explore the lack of it, because that already exists with you, within you. And all of these things that feel like, oh, I'm being punished because I asked for love. It doesn't make sense. I have explored everything that isn't love, and this is why I asked for love. If I had explored what love is, I wouldn't be asking for love. I would already have it. This is my way of thinking usually. And this is why it gets me triggered, because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If I'm asking for love, it means that I haven't experienced love. If I'm asking for financial abundance, it means I haven't experienced financial abundance. Not in a way that makes sense to me, at least, okay? So I'm asking for something because I want to experience it, and I haven't. Not because I already have it. That doesn't make sense in any way, in any universe at all, okay? So please do dismiss these things when they show up in your feed, no matter what social media you're using, which one you're using, because it doesn't make sense. We are putting more limiting beliefs on ourselves, more conditioning, and it makes it a bit fearful. Like, if I ask for this, I will have to face all the in-between and the difficulties. And because I asked for this, I'm gonna tolerate and get into a space of exploring the worst case scenario before I get there. So I don't have the strength or the stamina to do that. I don't have the patience. So let me not ask for more. This is what is implied when these videos are shared. And I don't know why people don't perceive that this is what they imply with what they are sharing. Anyways, I'm playing it a smart ass, a spiritual smart ass, I know, but it doesn't make sense to me at all. So what makes sense to me is that when I'm asking for love is because I know that I haven't experienced love in the way that I feel that is true for me. In that space, I will be going deeper in exploring what is not love already in my life. I will have the full clarity of why I feel I haven't experienced love in the way that makes sense to me. So all the veils will be brought down so I can fully see what is truly going on and why. Which here clicks shadow work, inner work, and the unraveling of how my current reality is made up and why it doesn't resonate with me. And I have to be willing to acknowledge all the layers that are involved in my current reality so I can go into a space of fully knowing what is not love in my current reality and free myself from these ties, reclaim my power, and get into a space of exploring what true love looks like and feels like for me in every aspect of it. So recognizing something as this is not it doesn't make it enough to go to the other side of it. It will put you through the deepest of explorations to understand yourself and why this doesn't feel like love, so you can get into a space of recognizing even the smallest of nuggets of love, and in that space you will be able to focus, yes, this feels right, so I want more of that feels right, and more and more and more. And before you even know it, you are in an expansion space of bringing more in of what you truly want and how you truly want it and how it resonates with you, because now you know everything that doesn't resonate. And now I feel complete and done, having shared all the in-between that I had in mind to share with these videos. I hope it resonates, I hope it makes more sense, and I hope it gets to remove some limiting beliefs that have been installed while we are exploring our spiritual aspects of self. Because a lot of things, we think we have understood them, and of course then a new piece, a new chunk of information shows up which makes more sense, and we go deeper and more aligned to what we believed initially. And even with the things I'm sharing, I'm always open to go deeper and explore more. And it's always beautiful to have these different ways of understanding things around us. So when something is triggering you, sit with that and explore why it is triggering to you. Is it some kind of safety that was pulled off from your legs? Is it something else that is triggering you that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel true? Go deep within that. Even with everything you are hearing and listening from me, with everything you are listening from everyone around you, even from the voices in your head, from yourself, from your guides, question everything. When something is triggering, there's a purpose for that trigger. Explore it. I think that is covered. Huge hugs. and I love you.